Hello everyone. My topic is MRI and ultrasound characterization of soft tissue vascular malformations. Myself, Dr. Sarjerao Gate, Junior Resident, co-author Dr. Sandhya Kothari, Professor and Head of Department of Radiodiagnosis, Dr. Punjabrao Deshmukh Medical College, Amravati. Aim and objective of this study to detect and classify lesions according to SSVA classification, International Society for the Study of Vascular Anomalies, to correlate and characterize ultrasound and MRI findings. Introduction. Definition. Congenital anomalies of vascular system results from errors in embryonic vascular development like angiogenesis or vasculogenesis. Classification. International Society for Study of Vascular Anomalies. Vascular malformations comprise a wide heterogeneous spectrum of lesion. Treatment strategy depends on the type of vascular anomalies, diagnosis and classification. MRI and ultrasound imaging is the most valuable modalities for classification, demonstrating extension, anatomic relationship with adjacent structures, and hemodynamics. Now, ISSVA classification. Types simple, combined, associated. In simple, there is a low or high flow. Examples are capillary, venous, lymphatic, or arteriovenous malformations. Combined type flow is variable. Example, Clipper-Trenewe syndrome. Associated type flow is variable. Example, FAST syndrome. Methods and materials. Place of study, Department of Radiodiagnosis, Dr. Punjabrao Deshmukh Medical College, Amravati. Type of study, cross-sectional, observational study. Period of study, 1st March 2024 to 15 December 2025. Sample of size, 30 cases. Inclusion criteria. In the current study, we screened 30 patients with pain and superficial swelling in extremity of all age groups. Now, for ultrasound, technique we use is Doppler ultrasound. Advantages of ultrasound are widely available, non-invasive, cost-effective, real-time assessment of flow dynamics. Standard protocol for anatomy, we use B mode. For flow, we use color and pulse Doppler. Venous malformation shows spongy, compressible masses with calcifications. On Doppler, low velocity, monophasic or absent flow, and there is augmentation with compression. Lymphatic malformations are multiloculated cystic masses with fluid filled with septations, and there is no internal flow. Arteriovenous malformations are ill-defined mass with tissue hypertrophy and adjacent vessels. On Doppler, there is high velocity, turbulent flow within the nidus, and there is arterialization of adjacent veins. On MRI, advantages of MRI, there is excellent soft tissue contrast, best for defining extent and relationship with adjacent structures. Protocols are T1 weighted, T2 weighted, and post-contrast T1 weighted sequences. MRI characteristics. Venous malformation shows T1 low to high, ISO to low intensity. There is T2 hyperintensity. On post-gadolinium T1, there is a faint progressive heterogeneous enhancement. Lymphatic malformations are ISO to hypointense on T1. There is marked hyperintensity on T2, and on post-contrast images, only septa or wall enhances. Arteriovenous malformations, there is flow wide on T1 and T2 images, and there is a rapid intense and heterogeneous enhancement on post-contrast images. Results were lymphatic malformation 30%, arteriovenous malformation 47%, and venous malformation 50%. Maximum cases were detected in adult age group. Venous and arteriovenous malformations cases outnumbered the other vascular malformations. The most common symptom was swelling in extremities. Most of the patients presented after 4 to 5 months of symptoms. Case 1, venous malformation. There is a ill-defined heterogeneous hypoechoic lesion with multiple cystic spaces within. On color Doppler, there is weak signal. It is seen on lateral aspect of mid-leg. On MR, there is T1 isointense, T2 stir heterogeneously hyperintense. It is seen within intramuscular plane. On lateral aspect of mid-leg, there is moderate enhancement. Blooming on GRE seen. Feeding vessels likely coming from peroneal artery. Case 2, arteriovenous malformation. Here we see ill-defined tangle of tubular anechoic structures with enlarged arteries and draining veins with surrounding normal tissue. On color Doppler, there is marked hypervascularity and there is aliasing due to very high flow. On MR, there are multiple flow voids in subcutaneous and muscular plane and in the posterolateral aspect of arm. T1 isointense due to hyperintensity seen, and there is blooming on GRE. Case 3, venous malformation. There is a ill-defined area of tubular anechoic structure in subcutaneous plane of medial aspect of leg. There is prominent vascularity on color Doppler. Compressibility is present, diameter increases on Valsalva, and there is no extension into muscular plane. On MR, there is localized T1 isointense T2 stir hyperintense lesion in subcutaneous plane, showing blooming on GRE. Feeding vessels are coming from posterior tibial artery. There is no muscular plane extension. Case 4, arteriovenous malformation. On ultrasound, ill-defined cystic tubular anechoic structure in muscular plane with normal surrounding tissue. On color Doppler, we see there is hypervascularity and aliasing. On MR, there is large, well-defined serpiginous vascular channels involving intermedius lateralis muscle. It is T1 isointense T2 stir hyperintense, showing moderate enhancement with blooming on GRE and feeding vessel coming from popliteal artery. Case 5, venolymphatic malformation. On ultrasound, there is a ill-defined multiloculated cystic tubular spaces, anechoic cyst, which are lymphatic components, and compressible channels, which are venous components. On color Doppler, there is minimal or absent flow. There is no arterial flow. Lymphatic cysts show no Doppler signal, and flow increases with the compression maneuver. Key feature which suggests venolymphatic malformation: there is mixed cystic and venous elements. There is low flow lesion, and there is no arterialization. On MR, there is ill-defined multicystic infiltrative lesion with few non-enhancing septae within. Few vascular channels are seen extending from the lesion. It is seen in subcutaneous plane of volar compartment of forearm, compressing adjacent muscles. It is T1 isointense, T2 star hyperintense lesion with no enhancement and foci of blooming on GRE. Discussion. Ultrasound is the first-line imaging modality based for assessment of flow dynamics. MR is the gold standard for anatomical assessment based for defining extent and depth. Key differentiating features: AV malformations must be diagnosed accurately due to risk of hemorrhage, high cardiac output failure. Venous malformation and lymphatic malformation both are low flow. T2 signal and enhancement pattern helps to differentiate. Venous malformation enhances progressively. Lymphatic malformation enhances minimally. Conclusion: vascular malformations are diverse, non-involuting anomalies classified by ISSVA system. Doppler ultrasound is essential step for hemodynamic information. MR is definitive for staging and offers superior anatomical mapping, characterizes deep complexes and high flow lesions. A combined approach using both modalities ensures accurate diagnosis and optimal planning for interventional and surgical management. These are the references. Thank you.